Welcome everyone to Growth Summit. Thank you so much for joining tonight. Thank you so much. Morning in morning in some part of the world. Right now it's 7:10 p.m. in Nigeria. You're welcome to Growth Summit. It's really an amazing time. Thank you so much for choosing to do this. Thank you so much for creating time to attend Growth Summit. And this is Abiodun Mustafa, the convener of Growth Summit. And this Growth Summit will be looking at the concept of exponential influence. We have a whole list of amazing, phenomenal, and exceptional speakers that we'll be sharing with you at this summit. And I'm really delighted to really welcome you and really appreciate you. And I'm really grateful that you're willing to be here at this Growth Summit. And there are a lot of amazing, phenomenal things that you will be learning. Please, I want you to do well, share the link with your friends, share the link with everyone, those in your circles, your family members, and people that you would like to attend this summit, because there's a whole lot that has been prepared and has been made ready for you. All right, in this first session of Go Summit, I'll be sharing on the concept of automating recommendations and opportunities in the 21st century. Now, for anyone who really wants to grow, who really wants to become exceptionally influential, and you want to be able to make deliberate impact on the lives of people, you want to be able to make a difference in a really special way, one of the things you need to know how to do is your ability to be able to automate opportunities, your ability to be able to automate recommendations. Why? Because when people begin to recommend you, when people begin to bring opportunities to you, it increases your level of pedigree, it increases the level at which people can trust you, and people can offer you their ears, can offer you their minds, can offer you their attention based on the fact that you are one who gets recommended over and over again. You know, we see a lot of people right now who say, oh, I want to be a great public speaker. I want to really speak to inspire. I want to speak to challenge. I want to speak to touch lives. But at the end of the day, they struggle with getting real recommendations in their life. And in this particular session, I'll be sharing a number of things that you need to take note that would help you to be able to grow, improve, and get recommendations and opportunities on autopilot. Now, before I say that, I want you to write this and take note of it. The more insight you have, the more impact you make. The more insight you have, the more impact you make. A number of times people try to assume influence and say, oh, I know what influence means. Influence is just getting this and getting that. And the truth of the matter is that the more insight you have, the more impact you're going to make. Look out for anyone that you know, anyone you find, anyone you respect, anyone you feel like, oh, there's someone I want to speak to, there's someone I love so much, there's someone I really want to do things with, this is someone I'm so delighted to meet. Many of the times, the reason why you come into them, the reason why you love the things they do, is because of the level of insight that they have. Now, take this for example. When someone is holding a candle, and then the candle is being lightened, you'll realize that the range of that candle will determine the people that are able to bear it. When someone holds maybe a particular torchlight, you realize that only the people that the rays and the coverage of that light can cover seem to be impacted by it. The same way, when someone lights a bulb in a room, it can only accommodate the people around the sphere of that light. When someone has an halogen light, now look at the light of the sun. The sun has the ability to be able to command a large number of people. That's to tell you that the level of your insight is what determines the range of your impact. You will not be impactful outside the insight that you've gotten inside of you. Right now, you need to ask yourself right now, how much do you know about influence? How much do you know about being exponential? Or you just want to come into the sphere of influence and you just want to say, yes, I'm influential right now. I've gotten a level of influence. Why? You need to deepen your insight because the range of your insight determines the range of your influence. Now, the second thing I need you to write is this: the more labor you put without insight will determine the favor that you lose. Most people believe that the reason why they don't have favor, that people don't like them, people don't appreciate them, people don't commend them, people don't commit to them, people don't offer their attention and their things and their mind and then do not give things to them, is because they lack favor. But you need to understand that favor is a system that can be built. If you only labor without insight, you will lose a lot of favor in your life. You will lose a lot of favor in your life. And you'll just be shocked. You'll feel like, oh, what's the reason why other people make it? Other people get there. Other people achieve this. Other people accomplish this. But what is really happening to me? The question is because you labor without insight. When you labor with insight, you would grow in favor. You will experience more favor in your life because favor has a place of light that operates with it. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Um, Thank you so much, Peter. Thank you so much, Joinloye Peter. Thank you so much. It's really amazing to have you. Yeah, thank you so much. Yes, the more insight you have, the more range of influence that you get. Now, what do you know about the industry you are in? How insightful are you about the things that you're doing right now? How insightful are you about the career that you're pursuing? And yet you're thinking you will be influential because you labor so much. That's why there is a power of scripture that says, the labor of a fool will yet every one of them because he does not know how to get into the city. So right now you're looking around, you're going on LinkedIn, you're going on Facebook, you're going on those platforms, and you're seeing certain people that always come, they always show up, and they are always like, yes, this is it, I've gotten it. And you see people love them, people appreciate them, people comment on the things to do, and you are like, how can I get this? How can this also be me? It's only dependent on your level of insight. Ayodeji Oluwole, thank you so much. Nice to see you. Thank you so much. Thank you for joining. Thank you so much. All right, so the level of insight determines the range of your influence. Now, how do you automate recommendations and opportunity in your life? How do you make opportunities come to you such that you don't have to pursue it? You don't have to lose your values. You don't have to lose things, and yet you are able to get that impact. You're able to get a value. You're able to accomplish it. You're able to do more. You're able to accomplish great things in your life. Number one thing you have to do is building your personality. Building your personality. What is your kind of personality? What do people perceive of you? When people think about you, what comes to their mind? Do they perceive who is a proud guy? Do they perceive is a guy that is not valuable? Do they perceive you as someone who is beggarly? Because the perception of people will determine how they speak of you to others. So, what do people say about you to others? When people have to talk about you, do they speak about you to others as, oh, that guy who can do this, that guy who can do that? You work on your personality. When people check up on you on certain platforms, what do they see? So one of the things you need to recognize when people have to draw recommendations, draw opportunities to you, is that they are looking out for you. They are checking up on you. You're creating a kind of perception. They are looking out on the kind of things that you do. So one of the things you have to do in your trying to automate recommendation to you is to work on your personality. Check up on you like a third person, check up on you like a second person, and assume you have never met yourself. When you check up on the things you push out online, when you check up on how you tell your story, what perception would come to your mind? In the same vein, the people who look out to you, the people who see the things you do, the people who watch out on the things you do, they are also trying to look out for you. So you are all creating a perception. So the perception you create will determine the opportunity that comes to you. Listen to that again. The perception you create will determine the opportunity that comes to you. So if you go online and you create a perception of, oh, I just did, well, just managers, just do this, people would not bring golden opportunities to you. Okay? There was a time that David was always known as a bush boy, was always known as an herdsman. Okay? Now, someone actually saw the season when he was playing the harp, playing the string instrument, and when there was time in the palace to recommend someone to play for the king, because of the quality of sound, because of the excellency of handling the instrument, David's name showed up. All right, the name of David showed up. Why? Because the perception you create determines the opportunity that comes to you. What are the things that people will say in rooms you do not belong that have the conversations that will change your life? Listen again. What are the things people will say about you in the rooms that you did not create that have the power to change your life? So you need to, number one, build your personality, your branding. Start working on your branding. Start working on the way what you call yourself. Start working on the way you tell your story. Start working on the things you talk about. Start working on the things you perceive. Start working on the way you speak about yourself. It's very, very important. And this will become also curious. You need to also become deliberate about the comments you leave on people's comment section. So, number one, building your personality. Number two is improving your ability. Improving your ability. Think about it. There were people who were the great, high, wonderful people that every time they needed to do something in those fields, those were the people they reached out to 10 years ago, 5 years ago, but right now they are no longer there. You know why? They became satisfied with their level of ability in the past to the point that they are not building on the present. Listen to that again. They became satisfied with the results of the past that they were not working on the present. So, one thing you have to do is to keep working, improving your ability in that area of your skill, all right? Maybe as a software developer, maybe as a data scientist, maybe as an MC, maybe as an individual, maybe as someone in engineering, maybe someone in computing, maybe someone in your medical field. And then as you begin to do it, as you tell your stories online, what are you doing? You keep improving on your abilities. You keep improving on your abilities. You must choose to be better today than you were yesterday. If you are given a job to do, you do it better today than you did it yesterday. So, number two is that you're improving on your ability. Now, number three, how do you automate recommendations and opportunities to you? Is that you belong to a community. Belong to a community. So there are associations, there are different kind of associations in your field. Join those associations. The societies in your field. Join those societies. Why? Because those societies are the place where people begin to garner and people begin to avert certain opportunities that relate to the things you're doing and they bring them to you. So this session is talking about how you can get opportunities. Opportunities, maybe travel opportunities, maybe career building opportunities, maybe career switching opportunities, maybe advancement opportunities. All of these opportunities come when you belong to a community. So you need to belong to a community. There are online communities you can belong to. Maybe it's whatever you're doing, copywriting, social media manager. There are online community, there are Facebook groups that you can join. There are Facebook groups you can belong to. In those places, you are able to meet people of similar value systems, similar goals, similar objectives, where they offer you opportunities that can change your life. And while you belong to those communities, you also contribute. So maybe you belong to a Facebook group, for example. Sometimes share posts that are relatable, that people will learn from, that people will build from, and then tell your stories about things in those industries, and people begin to pay attention to you. Someday, people want to say something in those lines, and then they go to the pages and they're like, oh, let me look at people on this group that have shared something relating to this. And then you are spotted out, and then people just reach out to you and say, Guy, we want you to come and speak about this. Sir, we want you to talk about this. Oh, sir, do you have a book written about this? Oh, I'm looking for a panel. We will be speaking on so topic. And then when they Google you, they'll find you in that community, they'll find you in that place, and then you are able to advance your life. I had a mentor who told me that when he had a travel opportunity to be able to go to the UK with a very prominent personality, it came through a community. And in that community, it was very positive, it was valuable. It would go there, make contributions, it would talk about this, it would share about that, and then people took note of him. So one of the things you have to do when you belong to a community, you make contributions to it. All right. This community could even be your religious community, could be those communities. So one thing you have to do is you need to belong to a community. So online community, number two, physical communities also. So you go out for master classes, you go out for meetups, you go out for programs, events where you are able to build this system. A single tree is never called a forest. You are not great if you are the only voice in the forest. You know what you have to do? You need to gather order. You need to synergize with others such that when the voices become rousing, your impact starts growing. You know, the people who believe that if I'm the only one doing it, then is it. No, you need a community to reinforce yourself, to reinforce your power, to become greater. And it is through those communities when, for example, you're putting out something, you reach out to your community and everyone begins to re-echo the things you're doing. What happens? Your influence begins to grow, and then you all synergize together to improve, to increase your influence. So you do not work in isolation, you work in a community. Number three is that you also need a community of valuable friends. You need a community of valuable friends. You need a friends who will be there for you. There was this time in Babylon that one of the presidents called Daniel was a president at the time, and that the king had a dream. The king had a dream. And for certain reasons, maybe he forgot the dream. And then he called all of the people who were great, who were senators, and said, oh, I had this dream, but right now I've forgotten. I want you guys to use your magic powers to help me, tell me the dream, and also give me the interpretation. All of the other presidents, all of the people were close, who were at the high level, they could not understand the dream. And then one of them, who was an immigrant called Daniel, called his friends. You need to understand that there is usually that opportunity that will come that only you will not be able to solve. And Daniel called his friend, and by calling all of his friends, what happened? They prayed, and then they saw the answers, and then the visions, the dream was given with the interpretation in the place of friendship. Let me ask you this question: who are your friends? Who are your friends? Do you have the friends that would offer you opportunities, that will speak about you when it comes to great opportunities, but or they would rather prefer that they are the only one that have it? Who are the kind of friends that you have? You need to write it down right now. Who are the closest people to you? Are they the friends that envy your achievement and they would rather get the opportunity than have all of you get it? Or they are the ones that will speak about you and they have no issues even if you are the one that get the opportunity. Who are your friends? So one of the things you have to do is to belong to a community, and you need the right set of friends. You need the right set of friends. You need friends that will be willing to see you grow. You need friends that will be willing to lift you. You need friends that will be willing to advance you. You need friends that when you're pushing a cause, they are willing to speak about it so loud enough to the point that people would even ask them that how come you are so determined to be able to share this about this person? Do you have such people in your life? And one of the things you need to also watch out is that when you find out that there are people who always love to take from you. They are always the ones telling you to push your cause, but they are never deliberate to push your own cause. You need to begin to watch out and start severing out the people who are as passionate about your cause like you. So you need such friendship. So in automating and bringing opportunities and drawing opportunities and advancing opportunities and improving things in your life, you will need deliberate types of friends. Now, number four, number one, we talked about building your personality. Number two, we talked about improving your ability. Number three, we spoke about belonging to a community. And number four, working on your legacy. Working on your legacy. You can see that build up, working on your legacy. It's not accurate to always have this idea that you have to start building your legacy when you get to a certain age, when you start having gray hair. Some people believe, oh, I'll start building my legacy when I get to 60, when I get to 70. I will start thinking of legacy. While you're still young, start thinking of legacy. Because the way you are going to operate, you're going to reason, you're going to move, when you start thinking of legacy when you are young, we will begin to advance and will begin to make you become more deliberate than people who choose to waste their lives. So the reason why we have most people who try to waste the early moments of their life is because they never think of legacy when they are young. They never think of legacy when they are young. So one of the things you have to start doing is to start working on your legacy. And legacy is more like an impact made on hearts that will outlive you when you are no longer there. Listen to me. When you leave a particular place, do you have people who 5 years after they are still speaking about the things that you did to their lives? They are still talking about the impact you made on their life. They are still speaking about the books that you wrote. Start thinking about legacy. So one of the things people do in order to leave their legacy is that they write books. So, people believe, oh, when you write a book, it's just because you want to be an author, it's just because you want to have this, it's just because you want to do this. No, writing a book is a system of leaving a legacy. Think of names and people that have died in maybe religious settings, secular settings, business settings. The book written about Steve Jobs. Look at Miles Moron, who is dead. Books, books, books. The man is leaving his legacy. Think about any other names of people who are no longer alive, but yet their words keep making a deliberate impact on our lives. What you have to do is to work on your legacy. Part of building your legacy is setting up an event that is kept available for people to refer to again and again and again and again and again. And they can always go back and say, oh, I wish I met this man. I wish this man was still alive. People speak about Jim Rohn. Jim Rohn's making a lot of impact, did a lot in personal development. When people still go to his videos, they are still like, wow, I wish this man is still alive. The things they said 20 years ago, they are still relevant even today. That's how you leave a legacy. That's how you start working on your legacy. Start working on a legacy. Don't be the one who only stays and say, oh, when I get old, I'll start thinking about doing this. Start building, start building, start building, start building, start building. So have something built to your name that people will continue to speak about. So you can write books, you can create events. Now, five. Number five, finally, how do you automate recommendations and opportunities in your life? Number five is having the right connectivity. Okay, we talk about personality, ability, community, legacy, and connectivity. Having the right connectivity. Let me ask you right now, who are you connected to? Who are you connected to? That gives you an idea, that gives you an assurance, that gives you a willing that the next 5 years of your life is going to be better than it is today. You need to do what? Have in the right connectivity. You need to have the right connectivity. Now, when we talk about connectivity, what most people think about is, oh, I need one connection to one Babalaye. Oh, if I connect to that Babalaye, I don't make them, I don't blow, I don't do this. Connectivity is in different level. There is the horizontal connectivity, there is the vertical connectivity. There's the horizontal connectivity, there's the vertical connectivity. You need both in order to rule, to dominate, to make a difference in today's world. If all you have is horizontal connectivity and you lack the vertical connectivity, you will be so deficient in dominating every realm. All right? You'll be so deficient in dominating every realm. Connection upward, connection vertical, connection upward, connection vertical. So you need a level of connectivity. So, like I'm saying, you need both horizontal and vertical connectivity. You need both horizontal and vertical connectivity. All right. Now, be on the lookout. Check up. Check up. In the last 1 year, this is a summit. We need to always speak and talk about the truth. In the last 1 year, who are the people that made the most difference to your life? In the last 1 year, who are the people that make the most difference to your life? Now, number two, who were the people that you spent most time with? Were they the people that made the most impact, or the people that made the least, or that made no impact in your life? The moment you can answer these questions, you will begin to realize the reason why the pace of your impact, the pace of your rising, the pace of your opportunities, while they were so slow or why they were so fast. Why they were so slow or why they were so fast. Why? Because most people spend time mostly with the people that made least impact or no impact positively on their lives. So sometimes you have people, you say, oh, I'm connected to this person, I'm connected to this person. But what impact was made? What contribution was made? What level of growth was made? Most times you need the right connectivity. You need the right connectivity. Check on your smartphone. Are there people that when you read, are there people that the moment you read their messages, you are spurred off to take deliberate push towards certain opportunities? Right now, you wrote certain goals. Maybe you sat down and you wrote certain goals and say, oh, this year, 2025, I'm going to do this, do this, do this, do this. You know the reason why mostly you will go back to them at the end of this year, and then you will find out that you are not able to accomplish so much in them. It's always because of the people you spend most of your time with. You need the right connectivity. You need the right connectivity. You know, the people sometimes who will push you positively and tell you you're being too slow. You will need people who will tell you that this opportunity, why have you not pushed and applied for it? Why do you think opportunities keep passing you by? I'll give you one reason. Because most of the people you are connected to, or most of the people you are connected with, are never encouragement and catalyst to your getting them. They're never the catalyst to your getting them. Who are the people pushing you to the next level of your life? So you need horizontal and vertical. Listen, we live in a world that is not just natural. We live in a supernatural world. We live in a spiritual world. So sometimes when you think and assume that the reason why certain people build certain discipline in their life, certain level of discipline, why maybe they do not corrupt themselves, why they do not go into certain ephemeral and immoral practices, you think it's just because they just want to be it? No, they understand beyond the natural that the world is also controlled spiritual. So one of the things you have to do, you need to be connected upward to God, the supreme being, and also horizontally. Now, you also need connectivity at three different levels. Okay, I think it was Ty Lopez that said you need 33% of your connection has to be people who are higher than you, 33% have to be people who are your peers, you are at the same level, and then the other 33% have to be people who are below you. Below you is not like you demean them, it's just that you have had the advantage of life to be able to move ahead of them. If you do not have this equal level of connections in your life, then you would not be able to achieve certain opportunities and recommendations in your life. What most people do is that all of your connections are usually those above you, which is fine, which is good, but you need a level of balance. You need your peers. Sometimes there are times you want to move and speak to the people who are ahead. You can meet them, but you can meet your peers. And many of them have certain depth of knowledge that can also grant you the next level of opportunity. And then you also need those below you. So those you have the privilege to mentor, you have the privilege to impart, you have the privilege to groom. Many a times, some of them will be the one who will speak and announce the things that you do. So how do you automate opportunities? Finally, number one, building your personality. Number two, improving your ability. Number three, belonging to a community. Number four, working on your legacy. And number five, having the right connectivity. The question is, Would you be the same person after hearing this, or you are going to take an action that will make a decision, a difference in your life? What will your decision be? The world is waiting for your impact. Thank you very much. That's my time. Thank you so much. That's my time. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, everyone. Please do well, subscribe, like, share. Let me see if you have questions while we're waiting for the next speaker or waiting for the next speaker. Thank you so much, Oyinloye Peter. Who am I connected to? Yeah, who are you connected to? Who are you connected to? Who are you connected to? Thank you so much. Thank you so much. That's my time. That's my time. I hope this made a difference. We're expecting the next speaker. Please just stay tuned. Just stay tuned. She will be here in some moments. We're expecting the next speaker. I hope this made a difference in your life.
He is a person.
All right. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, everyone. I'm seeing the applause. I can see the applause. Please stay tuned. We're expecting our next speaker in some minutes. Grab water, drink water, meditate on the session, do what you need, and then just look at it. We're back soon. everyone. All right, thank you very much for your patience. So, in this session, we are to look at the tools and technologies for exponential influence. So, we're looking at the tools and technology for exponential influence. I want to expect and believe that we are already answered for this session. The tools and technologies for exponential influence. Now, there are a number of sayings and there are a number of things that sometimes you would always hear and feel like, oh, all right, these and that, these and these. And people will tell you that, don't worry, the sky is so large for everyone to fly and all of that. And you keep realizing that in that same sky, when we bring it into our own reality in terms of the world and in terms of the things that we look around or the things that we see, a lot of the times the sky is not that wide for everyone to fly. Why? Because there are certain birds who would fly and would not really want others to fly. And that you need that strategy and you need that experience and that moment whereby you'll be able to create that opportunity to grow and advance. Interestingly, we already have a second speaker here, and I'm so delighted to have her here, and I'll bringing her live very very shortly. So, like I said in I know Joanna is already been spotlighted. So let me meet me. Joanna, you're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome. I want to.
Thank you very much. Thank you
Yeah,
very much.
so welcome. When we get to bringing you up soon. All right, guys. So we will be having Joanna come up shortly. Joanna is an SEO expert and communication expert and trainer, and she will be sharing with us today the tools and technology for exponential influence. So I shared in my story, while I posted on LinkedIn that I met Joanna first virtually. So we first met online, discussed. I saw a lot of the stuff she was doing. I saw the phenomenal work she was doing. I was like, oh, this is amazing. Yes, some months after we met physically, accomplishing different roles at an event. And it was really amazing. She's a really, really special, phenomenal, and exceptional person. So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Growth School. Welcome on Growth Summit 2025, the phenomenal, exceptional, powerful, talented, and buzzing and attracting every place online with SEO knowledge. Joanna Jayola, thank you so much for joining. You have the stage.
All right. Thank you so much, Dr. Mustafa. I really want to appreciate you for the opportunity, to be here to speak to people. Thank you so much again. Okay, so I'm going to be talking about tools, for influence in this digital era. First of all, good evening, everyone. I hope you are here to get knowledge. I hope you will not just come and just listen and just go. I hope you really really take actions from this. So back to my topic. We're talking about influence. We're talking about digital era. We're talking about tools that we can use to attain that level of influence in this era. Now, first off, one thing I would like to define is what is influence. um in the course of when I was given this topic, I looked at it and I was like, okay, the first thing we actually need to um the first thing we need to settle is influence. What does it mean to have exponential influence? What does it mean to be influential? Does it mean followers? Does it mean the number of engagements you have on your post? like what people term influences today. Does it mean, what does it really mean, right? So influence is simply the power to affect someone's thoughts, decisions. When what you do, or let's say what you say, has actually made someone else take a different decision, that's what you call influence. Yeah, so that's what you call influence. So now, in today's digital era, because anytime I'm talking about media, tools in this digital age, I actually like to talk about the current issues, in digital media. Currently, we all know that um the current issues, the current realities we have is digital issues. We have so many. This digital era has actually made a lot of people think that um, it has actually affected lives in several ways, either through relationships that's affected, either positively or negatively. It has affected several areas of our lives, right? Now, what are the current realities that we have? What do we have on ground that we can use at the moment? So before, it was just there wasn't so much of social media. Before, it was just TV, it was just radio, it was just let's say billboards. It was just those little things that the average person, the average teenager could not just do things that would have impact in the lives of people. But you could do things physically, right? But when it comes to digital, when it comes to affecting the lives of many people, the average person, the average teenager, the average young person might not be able to get to that point where you'll be able to be invited, to a TV station, where you'll be invited to a radio station, to come and talk. But now everybody is talking, even those that are not doing so well, even those that mentally are not okay, they are talking. Those that are very, very intelligent, they are talking. Everybody is talking. Different kinds of people are talking. Now, in this kind of reality, in this kind of digital era, what can we do? First of, influence. Now, I think the first thing we need to define is, what do I want to do? How do I see influence? Right? And let me just tell you, influence is not um influence um is not your social media following. That's not what categorizes influence. Even though, to an extent, what the number of followers you have, and you know number of engagements you have, how well you're able to reach people, can actually help you influence as many people as possible. But then, that should not be a yardstick for you to categorize influence. Now, the first thing I want you to define now is, what do I want to do? How do I see influence? What does influence mean to me? Yes, and this is where I'll be going back to purpose. What are you called to do? Because honestly, if you keep trying to chase different things, you keep trying to chase shadows, you keep trying to chase, fame, those things will not satisfy you. You keep trying to chase money, those things will not satisfy you. Now, influence. What does influence mean to you? For me, influence is when I'm doing things in accordance, when I'm doing things aligned with my purpose, when I'm doing things according to what God actually wants me to do. And then when I'm seeing a lot of lives blessed through that thing that I'm called to do, then I see it as influence. That's influence for me. Now, what does influence mean to you? Because if you don't define it, as you go on in life, as you go on with several things that you are doing, you would keep using other people's lives. This is where comparison, comes in for some people. Some people see someone that just came on social media, and then the person is doing so well. And you, on your other end, maybe in your corner, let's say you have a few set of people, let's say like five young people you are mentoring, and God is blessing their lives through you. But then, because of someone else, you think maybe you're not just doing anything. You think maybe you are not just influencing anybody, which is not right. So the first thing I need you to do is define what influence means to you. Now, after you have done that, number one, define what influence means to you. look into yourself and say, okay, what am I actually called to do? What do I want to do that would give me that fulfillment? What has God said I should do? You know, list those things out. That's the first assignment I'm giving you. Okay, so the next thing is, now we're in digital era and it's so easy for you to, you know, talk to a number of people. If you know, you will definitely know the likes of Eric Gugua, you definitely know the likes of Solomon Bucci, even though most of you might not like Solomon Bucci, right? But Solomon Bucci is that person that has talked about several burning issues that we ignore, and he's putting light on so many of those things, and several other people like that. And even the ones that are not popular, there are so many other people. So I need you to define influence. Now today, digital era, so what can we do? How can we utilize digital era, digital media, to attain that level of influence? Now the first thing I would say is, I know everybody will say build a social media account, which is true, but as much as you are building a social media account, don't neglect those around you. Another thing I would like to say too is, as much as you are building your social media account and then you are talking about a whole lot of things, let it reflect around you. People should not come online and then check your profile anywhere on social media and then see your life and then, you know see and see a very huge difference. Yes, please, that should not be. So when it comes to social media, start with social media. That's like the list. There is websites, there's podcast, you know there's there are so many means, but then I'll start with social media. Now, I've had several times in my life where I did not want to talk to God. I would always involve God in every journey, because it's like I would always involve God in every journey of my life, because it's like he's just that person that controls every aspect of my life. And so, like I was saying, there were times in my life where I just did not even feel like talking to God, right? And then I'll come on social media, especially IG. I actually like IG the best. IG is like my best social media platform, right? I'll come on IG and then I'm scrolling through IG. And then there was a particular time I remember clearly. I just scrolled through the first post, talked about you. It was a post about you are here on social media and you have not talked to God today, something like that. The second post was related to that same thing, and then the third post, it got to the fifth post, and I was like, no, I think I need to go and talk to God. Yeah, so social media has actually influenced people to that point. So you can use that as a means, to influence people. Now, another thing is, not everybody would be on social media. Not everybody wants to be on social media, but it's something you can make use of. Now, let me come to the second point. Sorry, give me a minute. Okay, I'm trying to open. Okay, so the next now to talk about is, let's say, things like newsletters. Newsletter is another way where you can connect with people, right? There are people that actually send out newsletters like weekly, and they talk to a particular set of persons. Let's say someone going through um you know something emotional, something like trauma or something, and there's some people that would readily wait for that kind of um for that kind of newsletter to always pop up on their feed. So aside social media, let's also look at several other ways that are coming up today. Newsletters, websites. Website, a lot of people actually don't read websites again like before. But there's something I actually want to talk about relating to SEO. Now, AI is getting to that point where when you search for something on ChatGPT, you would find links to several websites. Now, when someone today, I know several people that actually chat with ChatGPT as their friend. My sister actually does it. She does it, and then I know people that actually chat with Meta AI, as their friend. And sometimes AI does not give all of the information, but Meta AI would suggest several websites. In between some of those answers, you would see websites. So in the long run, that's another way we can come in to influence. You can have a website, or let's say a Substack account, a Medium account that publishes content regarding to related to what you are called to do, related to what you want to do, right? And sometimes when people are searching for stuff related to that on ChatGPT or any of the AI tools, these AI tools can actually suggest, you know, can suggest some your website to someone, and you never can tell. That can be a way, for someone to be healed. That can be a way for someone to, you um get the result or get the answer, to what they're searching for. Now, another way is, as much as you are out there on um Facebook, WhatsApp, sorry, not WhatsApp, Facebook, Instagram, and all of that outer social media platforms. Your WhatsApp audience, I've also been able to learn things from several people on WhatsApp. Don't neglect that also. So there are so many ways. And this thing I also told you about Medium or Substack is another way too. Another way too is you can talk about problems that people are currently going through. Problems that people are currently going through in whatever area, talk about it, organize events like this to events that there are some people that they might not be able to afford going for a physical event, right? But they can be able to afford, going for an online event like this. Now let's now come to physical, because I feel like a lot of people are actually focusing more on digital than they focus on what happens around them. We have so many people out there on the streets that they don't even have the money for data. They might not even have the money to um you know go on YouTube to watch a 1 hour 2 hour video, or they might not even have that much data to watch whatever video content you're putting out on social media. How then do we reach those people? That's another thing, because you cannot just limit all your influence, everything. You can't just limit everything to digital social media, whatever it's online. Please look around you, identify problems around you. Okay, identify problems around you and then find ways to solve them. Now, you can bring people around, let's say students, young people that are done with school, and then they are looking for, okay, what next? What next? There are so many people out there, large group of people who have phones, but they cannot afford that much data to go online to start searching for several things. Because personally, I'm still doing my research. Personally, I think um um a lot of people that are online have that much money, not much money, but they have a lot, at least to an extent they are comfortable to be able to afford um you know data regularly to follow some of these people, while there are so many people out there who don't have that much data, that all they can just come online to do is, okay, let me just keep my data to chat and that's all. I know, I personally, I know people like that, right? But what can we do? How can we use the growing technology to reach out to these people? Now you can organize outreaches, right? You can identify a problem around you. If it's, let me use an example like teenagers, right? There are people that they're out of secondary school and they wait for years to get admission into the university, right? Some of these people, while waiting, they mix with those around, and then they start joining cults, and then they start causing problems in the environment. Some, you see girls, personally I know stories of ladies in my community. They finish school while waiting for jam. Some of them, they wait for jam for like 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, and then they are there. Some of them get pregnant, in the course of that. How do we reach some of those people? Now, that was why before I continued, I said identify what is influence to you. For some people, influence is reaching the millions on social media. For some people, influence is teaching those in your surrounding. Now, in your surrounding, how can you use, some of the tools we have? We have AI today. We have, TV, we have a lot of content on social media. We have a lot of content on YouTube, that we can do. You can organize, a small gathering, talk to some of these youths in your environment. Talk to them about digital skills. Talk to them about, several areas of life. You can organize something small. It doesn't have to be one big event that we see every day today. It can be a small gathering, play something for them, talk to them about digital skills, or, you know, how to reach those people. That's another thing. Talk to them about digital skills. At some point, you can even maybe invite them to a closed place, play a very good content on YouTube, a long form content where they would be able to learn something either relating to relationships or relating to career, something. You can organize things like that. So our focus is not just on social media, and then social media. The truth is, in the long run, right, digital media is going to be crowded, and it's going to have very, very good positive effects, and it's also going to have very, very good negative effects. So the first thing I mentioned is digital media, social media. Now, the next thing I mentioned was in your surrounding, identify problems around you, and then look for ways to solve those problems. You can use There are so many skills. Just 1 hour every week, and then you place,
All right, thank you, everyone. Um, I guess Joanna has issue with her network, and we hope she will be joining us quite soon. But I hope you got a lot from there. She mentioned things around social media. She also spoke about the need for understanding how to use platforms that help you gain visibility, and also the consideration of physical events where you are able to also make impact, so that in recent time, beyond just concentrating on digital, you can also get to improve your you can also get to improve your life. You can also get to improve yourself and do a lot of other things that you want to do. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining tonight. We're really, really, really grateful. I hope tomorrow you will be. All right. I hope. Okay, Joanna is back. Please go on, Joanna.
Okay, so I don't know if you got what I said previously. I was talking about the several ways. Number one, I talked about social media, and I'll still dive more into that. Social media. I also talked about, when as much as you put out content on social media, let it reflect around you. Let people not come on social media and see a different person and then come down, to who you are physically, and then see someone else. Yes, because when you have a very solid influence, several people are taking a lot of decisions because of you on social media, and then around you people cannot even see who you are, even though that might happen because over familiarity is there also. But then let one or two persons around you be able to say, oh, thank you for this, thank you for that. Yeah, I also talked about, let's not just focus on digital, because today I talked about several problems we are facing today. There are some people that they have the phones, but they don't even have that money to afford social media. They don't have that money to afford data. Some they just need that data, just a little to just come online and just chat with someone and then go offline, because they don't even have that luxury of data. And there is another set of persons, young persons, that they have, maybe they're still under their parents' roofs, right? But they don't have the funds. How do we reach all of that? So, and I talked about the foundation. What does influence mean to you? What is that thing that you are called to do, that you want to do? Yeah. So I was also talking about websites, how you can, how that works, SEO, and how you can search for something on chat GPT and AI, and then it suggests some websites to you, right? Okay, so I was also talking about digital, how you can empower people around you, with digital skills and all of that. Now let's go back to social media. Like I said, I was going to dive, deep into that. um Social media, if you plan to, you go all in on social media, please go all in. Don't be on today and off tomorrow, even though it might not be easy. That doesn't mean posting every day, right? But then another foundation of social media is, have a solid reason why you are there. What is the problem you are solving? Your problem doesn't have to be a problem that is not monetizable, right? You can't monetize as long as you are solving a problem, as long as you are giving value, right? Money would always come with it. So another thing you need to know is, what am I here for? What problems am I solving? And every day come up to solve those problems. um I was There was something I actually wanted to say before the camera went off, but I would say that at the end of the class. So another thing is, tell stories. Use stories to make it relatable to people, right? Use stories to make your information relatable to people. Now, another thing is, build community. You can have a small group of people where maybe you host meetings with them. I know several top influencers. Influencers in the sense of they have followers and all of that. They have like communities where they share little tips, and all of that, where it makes them feel like, oh, this is home, right? So you can also do some of those things. Now, another thing I would like to say is you don't have to be on social media to have influence in the lives of people. You don't have to be on social media. You can use some of these digital technologies to have influence in the lives of those around you. Now, social media, it's not a must, but it's needed if you want your work to go far, right? So that's on the other end. So if you're on social media, know why you are there. Why am I here? What problem am I solving? Right? What stories can relate to people? That's another thing. Now let's come back to websites. I would also talk about intentional opportunities, right? So now let's talk about websites. You want to consistently talk to people. You want to have like heart to heart talk. Some of this talk that is about healing, some of this heart to heart talk with people. I would suggest newsletters, right? And websites like Medium and Substack. Now these platforms, there's a way you approach them. You don't just put just generic tips there. You put out stories. If possible, if you can maybe interview people around you or interview someone far away or whatever, simple chats with your friends and all of that. If possible, you can have interviews with people and get to know their views or get to know their stories, or stories that you hear on social media, any of those things, right? If you can get stories or fiction stories to be able to pass the message to people, because for websites and newsletters, people might not just read. People attention span is reducing, right? And if there's one thing you need to understand in this growing digital age, is how to catch the attention of people. Like, that's like the current research people, that's like the research a lot of people will be talking about in the long run, in the next 5-10 years. How can you catch the attention of people? Because everybody is on social media today. Like I said, both sane and those that are not even well, they're on social media today. They're everywhere. How can you catch the attention of people and then solve some of those problems too? Now for websites, deal with more of stories. If you are dealing with websites, or let's say platforms like Medium, Substack, newsletters, LinkedIn newsletters, or let's say just normal Gmail newsletters, that you talk to them every week and they feel a sense of, they feel like, oh, this is a friend talking to me. Use more of stories, and talk like as if you're talking to your friend also. That's another thing about about websites, right? Now another thing is, the third thing I talked about also, around you, what are the problems you have discovered? As much as we are bombarding social media, as much as we are bombarding digital media, influence is not just you have followers on social media. That's not just influence. Identify problems around you and find ways to solve them. Now, some of the ways you can solve them is, you already have content. There's already content, YouTube content and all of that. You can always, play some of these skills, some of this content that teaches young people skills, right? You can always play it for a small group of people. You can call some young persons around you that that, oh, these people, they're not really doing anything at the moment. They're waiting for school. They're this and that. You can call them. Talk to them about opportunities that they can have. Some of them might not have all of the money to for data and all of that. But how you can do it is, you can help them, download some of these materials. You can help them. You can talk to them. You can have a small group of people where a small group, or like an event. It's very small gathering where you talk to them about some certain issues. With all of this, we can be able to eradicate a lot of problems that we have in our small society, right? That's another thing. Okay, so another thing I would like to talk about is international opportunities. Now, influence is not just within your borders, right? Influence is not just around you. Influence is not just um, within the shores of your country, right? Cuts across several countries, if that is what you want to do, right? You can search for opportunities. Now we have AI. AI helps you to find out any, let's say, conferences, international conferences, or let's say fully funded scholarships. Several of these things, there are prompts that you can use to search for them on ChatGPT, Gemini, and all of that. You can search for them on AI, and then to give you also, even as a student, you are doing your research work instead of doing the manual way, and you have to search and search. You can tell AI to give you research websites related to the topic you are trying to do. These are ways that you can use what we have, to make life easier for you, and to also add value to people's lives. Now, as I'll close, one thing I want to still repeat is find out what influence means to you, right? At the beginning, I said influence is when your thoughts, your words makes people to take decisions, right? I know there are people that I've looked up to, the likes of Burna Boy, the likes of um, Olamide, some of these singers, and they've copied them. We can rise up and be a sort of positive influence to the young people that are coming in, and this is how we can do these things. So use what you have. You have your WhatsApp status, you have your surroundings, identify problems there. You have social media, identify problems there, and talk about these problems from time to time. And when you're talking on social media, another thing I need you to take home is be careful of how you talk, because you want to have influence, positive influence in the lives of people. How you talk on social media matters. There are people that what they've said has made them lose job opportunities. What they said has made them lose visa opportunities. What they said sometimes has made people just made young people not look up to them. So please, in everything you do, a lot of things are trending now, and it's so easy to talk bad. It's so easy to just talk anyhow. Mind how you talk, because some of these things can catch up on you in the future, right? Talk about some of these things now. Today we have an advantage, right? Before, they would just gather a few set of persons, preach, talk, and then it's just this set of persons that would see it. Today, even what you are doing physically, you can put it out there on social media. Put some of those content, some of those outreaches you've done. So, sometimes you have preached, and sometimes you have talked in some speaking events. Put it out there. Put it on social media. Even if it's one person's life that changes, it's good. Now, technology helps us to reach millions of people at a time. Technology helps us to reach thousands and thousands of people, young persons at a time, while we don't neglect what is around us. Because one thing I told myself coming here is, I'm not just going to come and tell you, yes, post on social media, yes, digital media, and all of that. I would also tell you to look at your community, look around you, your school, your church, you know, whatever you do there, you can also project it on social media. There's a lady that she's been talking in, she's been reaching out to, schools, some secondary school students, and she puts it out there. That would make one person say, ah, this is a young person preaching. Wow, I think I want my life to be like this. I don't want to keep doing what I am doing. I don't want to keep smoking. I want my life to be. as beautiful as this lady's own. So these are ways you can use whatever you do in the physical on site, it can be reflected on social media. And at the same time too, you can focus fully on digital, you can focus fully on social media, to do whatever you are doing. um and I really do hope that as we are going back, we are not just listening and you don't do anything about it. Please, one thing I want you to do as you are going back, go back and write out what you want to be known for. Write out what influence means to your life and to your career. Write out how the technologies you have, I mentioned them. You have social media, you have websites, you have AI that can help you, help you do all of the research. You have videos, you have, laptop, all of these things. How can I use all of these things to push out this problem, push out the solution to this problem? You can create a website. You can Today there's a whole lot of pollution with movies and transgender propaganda, transgender and all of those narratives. How can we solve it? These are problems that we need to solve, and then we can use what we have. We have technology today. We have several AI tools. Now, AI is not just a tool that you can use to research. There's so many AI tools today that you can use for videos. You can use to generate videos that will tell stories. There are AI tools like that. You can simply use Gemini, right, to generate stories, to generate graphics, to generate pictures, to pass your messages. So these are tools that you can use, right? And lastly, please don't forget what is around you. Research, 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 research. Please don't forget that also. Okay, so I already gave you what you should do as you go back. Now, in conclusion, the future of the world today is those that would influence people in the next 5 years, in the next 10 years. Let me tell you who they are as I conclude. They are people that know how to use technology. Now, when I mean technology, they know how to use several AI tools to get what they want. Number two, there are people that command influence on social media. Remember, I told you being on social media is not compulsory, but you can use it. There are some people that they don't want to be on social media, like they're not active. You don't have to be active, but it's needed, right? There are people that command numbers on social media. Now, thirdly, there are people that can communicate well. They can communicate, they can tell stories, they can use stories to pass their messages. Like, that is the future today. Grab attention. How can you grab attention of people quickly? Those are the kind of posts that goes viral. And sometimes when posts like that goes viral, it inspires a lot of people. How can you communicate to your audience? That's the future. Now, the next one, number four, is people who can build communities. People who command that they command influence. They have the numbers and they can build communities of like 100 persons who would willingly follow their instructions. I know the likes of Stalem King. I know the likes of there's this lady Ade Ife. She has built that influence on social media. She has the numbers on social media that she has some of our talks and some of our challenge, social media challenge has helped a lot of people grow on social media and find, what they want to do. That's another thing. Now, it's for people who can adapt quickly to any technology. People who can adapt. Okay, AI is coming. Okay, how can I quickly research? How can I use this? You're a lecturer. How can I quickly use this to help my students very well? Okay, you are in the professional space. How can I use this to be excellent at my job that someone would see me or my boss would see me and say, wow, or someone who is just coming up in the field will see me and say, wow, I want to be like this person. You know, these are the five things I want you to know. So, as you are looking to command influence, you're looking to have influence in the lives of people. Ask yourself those questions I told you earlier, and then Seek out to build these 5 areas: how understand technology, communicate well, storytelling, build communities, command influence on social media, all of these things. And I pray God helps you. Thank you so much for having me. If you have any questions, yeah, I would be here to answer them.
Fantastic.
Thank you very
Thank
much.
you so much, Johanna. That was really, really great. Thank you so much. It's really, really, really amazing. So, like you have heard, use what you have for what you have is plenty. And the problem it's not in what you do not have, but the problem is what you have, but you don't know what to do with it. Thank you so much for sharing those insightful things. The person you have to become, you have to be that person who control the number, the person who has visibility. And then she also shared on the concept of ensuring that beyond just trying to show up online, you are also looking at your immediate environment, trying to solve problems, trying to be present in the lives of people. And I think I would really, really agree with you because there are people who look so nice online, but you will never love to meet them physically. Why? Because they do not touch life with you. So it's really, really important and really essential. Thank you so much, Joanna, for that. Maybe two questions which I want to ask, and I think it's going to be something also in the minds of the people who are listening. Now, look at the instance whereby we have today the social media world, a lot of buzz. Sometimes people feel pressured, like, oh, this person is posting. Oh, this person has this number of likes. Ah, this person has this number of comments. And then you see someone who posts and like your comment and likes is looking at like binary number one or one and zero, or it's just looking like two small, small numbers. And they're like, ah, will I really be influential? Does this space really look like it for me? Ah, they have talked about influence. Be on this, be on this. What would you like to say to such individual who feels like, oh, I think I'm posting. I think I'm trying to be consistent. But it's not just numbering. It's not just there. The things are not just up. What can I do? Eh? Joanna, I've seen that you're an SEO person. Is it that I have to improve on SEO? Is it that I have to start writing movie scripts so that people will stay there to the end and they'll be like, and all of that. So what do they have to do, and how do you think they have to really improve themselves? Does it look like they should just call it quits since they started and it's not giving the numbers? Or what are the things you think are responsible for posts that convert? And when we say convert, not just convert into sales necessarily, but convert into impressions, convert into people saying, yes, I think this touched me, and then all of those things. So, what will you have to say to such people?
Okay, so the first thing I would like to say is not everybody would have large number of followings on social media. Not everybody would go viral on social media. Not everybody would have large following on social media. And that's one reality we need to have. That's one reality we need to have. Not everybody, right, would have that large following on social media. Number two, influence doesn't mean the fact that you have 2 likes, the fact that you have 10 likes doesn't mean people are not watching. I've had clients and people who have invited me for events, people who have invited me for I know specifically one that invited me for a particular huge international opportunity, and this person has never liked my posts. There's another person also that reached out to me for a gig. This person has never liked my posts, never even commented. So people are watching. That's another thing I would like to say. Thirdly, I would like to say that I know how painful it is for you to be posting, keep posting, and then there's no results. As much as we understand these two things that I've said earlier, Please understand that you need to also work on yourself. What you can control is what you are doing. Check your content. Tell like 2 3 people to check your content. Is it good? Check your strategy, your content strategy too. And this is another place that a lot of people don't check. A lot of people don't pay attention to your content strategy, your how you engage. Because if you want to grow on social media, please learn how to engage. Comment on people's posts as much as possible. Yeah, and another thing I would like to say also is um another thing I would like to say is your content. Yeah, I've talked about that. Engagements also. Now, the kind of content you put out there. Now, there's some kind of content that actually goes viral. Some content that gets the likes. There's some content that doesn't do well. There's carousel content, there's video content, there's text and image content. Another thing is, what problem is your content solving? That's like the first thing you even need to even know. Like, what problem am I coming to talk about every day? Am I just coming on social media and just talking about different things? There are people that actually talk about different things and they have the numbers good. But you are building a brand, you are building a different, brand, a personal brand, something that would command, relevant influence. What problem are you coming to talk about? Who are your target audience? So these are things that you need to state out. Think about, who are your target audience? What are their problems? What do they like to see? Imagine you are talking to Gen Zs, or your content is related to Gen Zs, and then the kind of content you put out, the kind of images you put out, they have this old mama style of image, kind of, right? So you need to take all of this into consideration too. While we know that not everyone will have that big following, out of like 10 people, it may just be like, out of like 10 friends, 5 friends, let's say 10 friends, it may just be like 5 of them that will have that huge following. In fact, it may just be like two that would have that huge following. So please understand that the fact that you are having that low likes, right? It doesn't mean that you are not a person of value. It doesn't mean that you are not a person of worth. And on the other end, to audit what you have done so far. Check out what you do. Um, am I talking to the right persons? Who are the people that are my target audience? What problems, am I solving for them? And all of that. That's another thing I want you to know too. Um, Personally, I've also had experiences whereby there are times that my content they are not even doing well. But then in that period, what do I do? I check on my content. Okay, what did I do wrong? And not every of your content will do well too. Also take note of that. So I don't know if I answered the question well, but these are the 3 areas I want you to take note of. Not everybody would have that influence, right? And be satisfied with that. It doesn't mean you are not a person of worth. Secondly, audit your content strategy. Who are you talking to? Who are your target audience, right? Talk to them. What problems are you solving every day? Talk to that problem you're solving every day. Yeah, thank you very much.
Yeah, thank
And
you
yes,
so much. Thank
lastly,
you. Yeah.
yeah, lastly, consistency. Be consistent. Go all in. Go all in. You don't put little effort and expect to have big results, right? Go all in. Yeah, thank you very much.
All right. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Joanna. That was really, really nice. That was really. So one more thing I want to ask. So someone is saying, Joanna Jayola, I love your speech. I love your session. It's really amazing. You spoke to the things I needed to address. Right now, I want to really work on it. But I want to know how to connect with you. I want to know what you do. Are there product services that you offer? And I will be willing to maybe get your service. I want to get your product. I want to connect with you. So how can these people link up with you? How can they link up with you? And how can they link up to maybe any of your product or services that you have?
Okay, so first off, I am an SEO specialist, right? And currently not diving, but moving quietly into the advertising industry, media strategy and media planning, right? And I do SEO, digital media, everything about digital media, paid ads, right? Secondly, you can connect with me through LinkedIn or from LinkedIn, right? Out you would get my WhatsApp contact, so you can connect with me on LinkedIn. You can also send me a message on LinkedIn, right? From there, you can also get my WhatsApp contact. Yeah.
All right, fantastic. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Joanna. It has been a really amazing evening with you, learning from you, listening to you, and getting a lot of value. We really hope that next time we'll do having Growth Summit or maybe a Fiscal Summit, we will get to get a positive from you. Thank you for accepting. Thank you for even accepting to be on Growth Summit. Not really knowing what to expect. Right now, because you shared, a lot of people don't know what you had to really face and how you had to really create time to be here. But sincerely, on behalf of myself and the entire Growth Summit family, I want to say thank you so, so much. Thank you so, so much. I'm grateful. So we will leave you right now to focus on the rest of the day, and we will speak
Thank you very much.
at the back end. Thank you so, so much. All right, everyone. That was
Thank you
it
so much.
from Thank you so much. That was it from Joanna Jayola. It was really, really amazing. Very powerful, very clear, very deliberate. Guys, that's it for day one. Thank you so much for joining. Thanks for your patience. Thanks for saying through. Thanks for learning. I hope it was worth your time. I hope it was worth your time. Firstly, we shared about how you can automate recommendations and opportunities, and also now the tools and technology for exponential influence. Guys, tomorrow is going to be power, 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 power. Two phenomenal, exceptional individuals will be speaking to us. So we will be having the session from Dr. Joshua Oyeni, the convener of the Ambassador Summit and also the CEO of Amboria Global Consulting LLC, a global figure who will be sharing with us tomorrow on how leaders make impact, how leaders position for lasting impact and influence. And also, we'll be having the delectable Faizat Hussein, who will be sharing on how to become noticeable in a noisy world. You don't want to miss this, guys. It's going to be holding tomorrow morning, Saturday, 10 a.m. West African time, and we will be starting the show. Guys, was today worth it? Let me see the comment. Was today worth your time? 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 Yeah, I can see Divine Favor. It was a wonderful session. Interesting. Divine Favor is saying thank you, ma. Yeah, that's it. That's the energy. Come with that amazing energy tomorrow, guys. It's really going to be amazing. After this summit, you are going to become exponentially influential. Remember what I said at the beginning? The more insight you have, the more impact you make. Till we come your way again tomorrow, keep making a difference, keep changing lives, and keep
She
transforming
is a
your
social
world.
media content.
Please do well Please do well to subscribe, to share the link. We'll be sharing a new link for you to join. You would have seen it be on the YouTube. Just go to the live option. You would see the two there. But for those already who registered, I will share with you on the WhatsApp channel, and also you receive the email. Then also those on the Growth of Africa community on Telegram, you would also receive the link for day two. Thank you so much, guys. I love you. We celebrate you. We appreciate you. See you guys again tomorrow. Bye bye.